Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Puffco Peak dab of the day. Today is Wednesday. Hello, everybody. Well, there are two words that are really important that I want to talk about today. Instinct versus intelligence. Intellect. Instinct versus intellect. Let's start with intellect first. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be a cop or an Air Force pilot. That wasn't going to work because my father was a Harvard graduate, my mother was a Cornell Phi Beta Kappa, my grandparents were Columbia and Cornell, and the relatives were all Cornell and Harvard. So I was pushed to Ivy League interviews with maybe B minus grades and low, not high SAT scores. It was really frustrating and embarrassing. So intellect cannot be forced on you. I decided to go to Syracuse University. Something drove me there, made me go there. And lo and behold, I met Mrs. Stoner the first day of my junior year, and the world changed for me. But intellect. People think they can buy it. You can bribe your way into intellect. You can't. Intellect, intelligence, you can improve your knowledge base, but you're who you are. Either you're an intelligent person, you're a real intelligent person, or you're not so intelligent. I mean, let's just think about it. Good, better, best. Okay? But intellect, it's a God-given thing. You can sharpen it like a knife. You can load more of them in the gun like bullets, but you only get one brain. So intelligence and intellect really can't be bought. They've got to be innate. They've got to be something that you came with. And then they can train you about what you want to learn, but they really can't train you to be smart, to have intelligence. That's the way it is. So, for example, I didn't go to Ivy League school. I went to Syracuse. But I got a fine education, and I got out of it what I got out of it. You could have gone to an Ivy League school and gotten nothing out of it and flunked and had a horrible time. So the other thing about intellect and intelligence is it's like a shoe, like a glove. Everybody fits it differently. It's different for everybody. What I think is intelligence, someone else might think is stupid. So it's not about opinions. It's about metric intelligence. It's about what's your IQ. Okay, if you've got an IQ of 160, you're a Mensa. If you got an IQ of 97, might not be so easy. What I'm trying to illustrate here on the intelligence and intellect front is don't get frustrated. It is what it is. You are who you are. Make the best of it. That might be the biggest coup for intelligent people all over. Remember, I sell stress relief and pain relief. I don't sell put 50 points on your IQ. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about here. So, stop chasing something you can't do. If you're an IQ 120, enjoy it. If you're a person that likes to read comic books instead of encyclopedias, enjoy it. If you're a person that likes to watch Flintstones like me and Mrs. Stoner instead of Bloomberg, enjoy it. So whatever you're doing with your intelligence, with your intellect, whatever you choose to do, make sure you enjoy it. Now to the other side. It's not really the other side, but it's another philosophy. Instinct. Wow. I mean, I could talk all day on instinct, but let's start from the very basic. How about your spidey senses? Okay? How about the things that tell us we better not do that? How about the things that tell us, even though that person says that's a good idea, it might not be such a good idea. Even by conventional standards, we're not seeing it, but we have a feeling that it might not be right to do. How about an instinct that something's not going to go right? How about a feeling, an instinct, that, you know what, the next pain injection I'm going to skip. I have a feeling. I'm going to skip this one. Instinctive, okay? Instinctive things are also automatic things. Instinctive things, what they talk about a lot, is they talk about soldiers that are trained highly, and they talk about police, and that a lot of the things that they do is automatic in a situation from training. So, a soldier who's in a firefight, it's instinctive what he's going to do. Now, animals, I could talk about animals even more because there's a whole lot of more instinctive things they do because they don't have the intellect. Ha ha ha! So they work together. Instinct and intellect. What do you think about that? They're congruous. They work together. Complementary angles. You might be an instinctive person, but you've got intellect that tells you maybe I shouldn't do what I think I should do. Whatever the angle on this whole thing is, you're now beginning to see that intellect and instincts kind of work well together. Okay? They're absolutely different. It's one of the only situations I can think about where people and things that are totally different work well together. The person you want as a master sergeant on your submarine, nuclear submarine in the Navy, is one with years of experience and good instincts. Think about this. You're isolated, 1,000 feet under the water in a nuclear submarine with 140 people on it, and that's all you got. And the guy that makes the decisions has intelligence, has to have intelligence, but you know what? You have good instincts too. Now, instincts are really a little different than intelligence. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm sure that a lot of instincts of people are innate, and it's just there. But in the case of Senior Stoner, mine have been honed over a number of years. My instincts with weed, my instincts with people, my instincts with looking for a policeman that has radar that's unmarked car. Remember, I used to smoke weed in the car. So my whole deal was to look and understand and who was unmarked and all that. I could pick a policeman out, doesn't matter who they are. They could be dressed in a bathing suit, I'll know. That is an instinct. Because I was worried about being busted as a young man, a middle-aged man. And it wasn't legal. I didn't have a card. So your instincts are sharpened and honed by your intelligence. Does that make any sense? Because instincts are kind of like this. And what you do is you have a lot of things that you're instinctive about. Love, hate, food, sex. Just think about things that are emotional you have instincts about. Well, guess what? You can take those instincts, which are all over the place, and focus them. And use your intelligence to capitalize on your instinctive nature. Now, one more thing. I'm going to draw us to a comparison I made of people who see a lot and people who don't. Mylar coffee filters and chain link fences. Mylar coffee filters may have more instinctive things that they want to do and show because they're constantly peppered with things. The chain link fence, not so much. They have instincts, but they don't have to use them so much because they operate in a little different fashion. So remember this. It's not really instinct versus intelligence. It's instinct needs intelligence. And intelligence needs instinctive nature. If you're a really smart person and you didn't have any instincts, no common sense, not going to do so well. If you're a not too smart person, but you had great common sense and great instincts, you might do really well. What do you think about that one? Let's take our dab of the day and get started on this Wednesday. And remember that what you want, and let's talk about this one, is you want to use your good instincts. That is, you want to maximize the things that are good. Use your intelligence and minimize the things that are bad. Think about it. It makes a lot of sense. And I think what you want to do is gauge it by what affects you negatively. Bring on all the stuff that's positive and fun. Shut down and eliminate, minimize all the stuff that's negative and not so much fun. It makes sense. So instinct and intelligence are working right along together. They do it differently, but they have the same aim. There are different ways that we can help ourselves be better people and happier people. Cheers. And have a great day out there, everybody.